Welcome back to this very lovely and magical episode.
Sparkle.
Behind the scenes, we're filming this on 11/11, and this is our 11th episode.
Yeah.
So,
you know that magical beautifulness, magical beautiful podcast.
I'm Rose.
Oh yes, and I am Meadow.
I feel like we forget this.
I feel like I was just. I was like, did we even do that?
We did not.
We definitely did.
We just dived right in. But that's okay.
Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know who you are.
Right. 11 episodes? Like
on 11/11?
Come on.
You know.
And I don't know if I remember this correctly, but I feel like most podcasts don't make it past 10 episodes.
Look at us.
So
Look at us. Confirmation from the universe.
Yes.
We love that.
All right.
Surprise, this is a manifestation podcast.
Yeah, we're changing the subject. Now we're talking about Marvel. Shirts are irrelevant.
Actually, we're talking about how to manifest into the Marvel reality.
Oh, see.
Actually, I don't.
Unless I'm the one with powers, like, I don't.
We gonna be mutants. Oh my goodness. Their school is always. Never mind. Let me not.
Clutching my pearls. No, I would want to be like. I want to be like top dog. Like, I want to be like Scarlet Witch. Like, if I'm going to be somebody, I'm going to be at the top.
Right.
Anyways.
Right, we can't even talk about that. Because we're not even there yet.
No.
Okay, Spider-Man.
So, yes, this episode we are talking about Spider-Man Homecoming with Tom Holland. We are back on our Spider-Man vibes.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, next episode, we'll be talking about Miles. But anyways, first thing, I just wanted to note right away that we are like jumping in the timeline.
Yes.
So right now,
pointing that out.
Yeah, we're right after Civil War, which is Civil War in the middle of Phase 2, or is it the end of Phase 2?
I feel like it's kind of closer to the end. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly.
Anyways, yeah, the movies we've been talking about have been in Phase 1, which we will wrap up shortly later.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to skip ahead because we wanted to do like all the Spider-Man movies and compare them and whatnot.
Yes, all the first Spider-Man movies for our first season because we're in the first phase, things like that. So as we move on, we'll watch the second Spider-Mans and so on and so forth.
Yes. Speaking of comparisons,
okay,
we're gonna jump right into it right away.
Let's get into it.
Personally, I felt like this movie wasn't very similar to Tobey's and Andrew's. Like, I
literally not at all.
Yeah, I felt like Tobey and Andrew's, like, you can easily see like the similarities.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was watching this, I feel like it was more like you could pair it more with Miles Spider-Man, because I feel like this one just has like the base plot. Like, there's this boy named Peter Parker and he got bit by a spider.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Like, you already know what's going on.
Yeah,
and
you're expected to know what's already going on.
Yes, you're expected to know what's going on. I feel like another thing playing into that is that it seems that Marvel had more of a handle on things for this movie and for Miles's movie, as for Tobey. Andrews and Tobey's, it was more like Sony and Paramount, whatever they had going.
True.
And like with the comparisons, are we able to talk about?
Yeah,
like they didn't even start off with the character. And I feel like that is another big difference, because with the other ones, they kind of start off with Peter, whether it was young Peter or older Peter. But for this one, it went straight to like the plot is about to get juicy. Like, we're setting up villain lore. We didn't get to see Peter until a little bit later. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I wrote down bullet points of like all the differences and similarities that I saw. Starting with the differences, we get a Ned.
Right.
I don't even know what homeboy Harry. Yeah, we don't get like an evil best friend or anything like that, or like a billionaire best friend.
So I think that with this, like Peter is like in a different kind of comic. You know what I mean? Like each one of those Peters had their own comic that they were enacting, but like this one is one where in this reality he has a Ned, but he still has an MJ.
Very interesting, because like with Andrews, it's like the Amazing Spider-Man. You know what comics to go to for the Amazing Spider-Man. I wonder if like this is all made up. Like, is Ned made up? Is Liz made up?
I don't think so. They have a Ned in the comics. They talk about how how like there's an evil Ned and other things like that. So I think that they pulled from different kind of comics possibly. Okay. And like maybe there's one that was like the big inspiration, but then more got added onto that. For the plot, for the juiciness. Because like there is definitely probably a comic out there where Spider-Man is with the Avengers. And as we know, this is the only Spider-Man where Spider-Man is with the Avengers.
Yes. Also, Peter doesn't make his own suit. Like, he makes his own like OG suit, but he's not with the needle and the thread, like sewing his own suit together. Yes. And then like we talked about earlier a little bit, Uncle's already dead.
Right.
R.I.P. Ben.
Somebody. Because when Ned found out and he was like, oh my goodness, like, should we tell everybody? And he was like, no, like, May cannot find out, like, everything that she's gone through. And I'm like, okay, so she has gone through something. Like, but they never hint at, like, what it is, like, who left. Because one of the things that I pointed out was that, like, Peter wasn't really grief-stricken in this movie. Like, I feel like in the other movies, Peter experienced loss. He's like, oh my gosh, somebody did. Like, my daddy did, my uncle did, like, somebody did, and I'm sad. But this one, he's not sad about none of that.
Yeah, I jump into that later too with more details.
Okay,
yeah, we do this every time. And then, like I said earlier, there's a Liz. Also, Flash is smart in this movie. I realized towards the end they're at a science and technology school, so like they're at like a smart people school,
right?
They're not at like a public school
where everyone's mixed in.
No, they got it going on up there. And then also, this movie, MJ is more like a loner when, like, compared to Tobey's movie. She's like the popular girl, and like
MJ.
She's dating Flash, and yada yada yada. I feel like she could be more comparable to Gwen, maybe, than to like Tobey's MJ.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
All right, similarities. In the beginning, they use like OG Spider-Man music, like in the first scene, and then also in like
in the intro.
Yep,
it's like an orchestra version.
I know that sound.
Sorry.
How long this movie was, bro? I got bored. Like I'm sorry. Like right before like him asking her to homecoming, I was like, okay, this is another movie. Like, I'm ready for this to be over. Was it always this long? Jesus.
Bro, I was looking at the time. I was like, dang, I really need to dedicate like over 2 hours of my life to this right now.
Yeah.
Okay. For the podcast. Yeah. For the podcast.
Let me lock in.
Let me lock in.
And then like Peter being a genius is a given. And they emphasize it, I feel like, not a lot, but they put emphasis on it.
He's mixing the stuff in class.
Yeah, and like he just looked up at the board and knew the answer right away. Yeah, took him like 2 seconds.
Right. Oh. Mance was sleeping. Was he thinking about math in his sleep? No, he wasn't sleeping.
No, he was doing something. He was distracted.
Right.
Yeah. Peter don't sleep in class. Come on.
Right.
He's a nerd. And then I don't think we saw it as much in Tobey's first movie, but like how Andrew has like funny commentary, like when he's fighting bad guys and stuff. Tom's Peter also has that little comeback commentary, etc., etc.
Thor, that should be a lot handsomer than this.
Trying to think you guys like the Avengers. And then the end credit scene of like the villain trying to protect Peter.
Yeah.
At the end.
Thought that was nice. So he has some morals. He's just trying to protect.
Well, I feel like it was more like you saved my life, I save yours. Like you got my back, I got yours. Type.
Yeah. That's why I said morals.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, because he still could have been bitter and been like,
Yeah,
I'm in jail and he not. We should.
Right. We'll dive into his character as well. Yeah. And then also we can I feel like this is more of like a next episode topic of like the connections between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Miles Morales with his uncle Aaron Davis. I wrote it down.
I'm glad that you did. I was also thinking about that too. Like, yeah, we should probably put that in next episode because it has so many things.
Right. All right. Okay. So let's actually jump into the movie. Yeah. First, like right when we get into the movie, we see like the commentary and pool between like rich and poor. Like when he's just trying, you know, to make a living, and they come and shut him down. He's like I got a family, like my crew got a family, like I spent all this money, and Homeboy's like, I don't care, like
yeah, like
you should have overextended yourself,
being so rude and disrespectful. Like,
yeah,
jeez.
And my first thought was like, has Tony really learned from his past, like with this scene? Because she's like, well, this is you know, the big guy, like this is Tony Stark's doing. Like they made it apparent, like it's Tony versus Vulture and everything like that. Or like, does Tony know that he's taking jobs away from these people?
That is what I was thinking. I'm like, he's probably more so, we need to clean up this alien stuff. We should not let it just be out here floating around in the public, because like obviously look what happened when it did start to float around in the public. Like even if that group of people like kept their job and they did whatever they did to it, someone else could have gotten a hold of it and done the exact same thing that they did. So I think he had more of that kind of mind. But yes, hasn't learned his lesson to think about the full picture.
Say, yeah.
He's just like thinking, oh, how can I do some good, but like doesn't think about the consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, he could have like paid the people off that were already hired for the job. Like I feel like at this point this is after all 3 of his movies though too, isn't it? Yeah, so I feel like he should learn more by now. Like come on. Especially, I don't remember which movie that was, but like the movie where like Homegirl was in the hallway and she was like, this is my son.
That was literally the movie right before Civil War.
Yeah. Like Tony. This movie did not add to Tony's credit for me. Like it just made it worse.
Yeah, I definitely was like, he could have handled the situation with Peter a little bit differently, like in the beginning.
Yes.
Just like letting him know what to expect, because like granted, you know, Peter is his own person and is responsible for making his own decisions, but like Peter was kind of just waiting, like, oh my goodness, they're gonna call me. Like
he's 15.
Exactly.
You have to
so
keep
like
in mind.
you have to also add context, like not just say, oh yeah, we're gonna call you and dismiss you. Like, hey, don't hold your breath, but like if something really big or something important comes up where we feel like we need you, we'll let you know. Go about your life as normal. Like he could have added like, just go about your life as normal, and like I feel like a lot of this movie would not have happened.
We'll jump into that too, Peter and Tony's relationship, because sorry, yeah, oh my god, oh excuse me, sorry. Okay, so going from this scene, like he's getting ripped off, and then that creates the Vulture. And when I saw this, I was like, hey, this is like the classic villain origin story. Like, hey, someone did me wrong, and then this is what I turned into. Yeah, but then as I was thinking about it, I was like, is this really a villain origin story, or like is he just like doing what he has to do to provide?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I definitely think that it has some kind of villainy-esque, just because he was doing wrong. Like not even like, even if he was doing something, making whatever, like I feel like it was the way that he was going about it and how he was willing to kill for it, and just like getting real aggressive. I feel like if he kept going without going to jail, it could have gotten worse. But yeah, definitely think that it was originally just like, okay, I need to hustle to get some money for my daughter, for my wife.
Yeah. And he got that money. You see that house?
I know.
I was like, hang on, weren't you just poor? Like,
mama got the fresh silk.
What is going on?
Baby girl always got a fresh silk place too. I'm like, okay,
can afford this nice rich school, like. But then I was like, okay, it has been 8 years.
True. He got his money up, got his funny up.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's silly.
I also, in the car scene when they were like taking him to prom, and he was like, "Oh, good old Spider-Man." There was like a red glow on his face from the lights, and I was like, "Okay, is this Tom Holland's version of the Goblin?" Because that's what it reminded me of in this scene. Today's not my night.
Yes, tonight is your night.
But yeah, I felt like he was giving very much Goblin vibes at that point. I feel like he said that in his movies as well.
What about
good old Spider-Man?
Oh,
like just the voice and the words and everything.
Yeah,
with innuendos.
Innuendos.
In the
window. In the windows. Y'all know.
In the windows. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, what's next on the scenes?
All right. Reasons I've always liked like this version of Spider-Man because I feel like it brought youth to the MCU.
No, literally.
Like, especially at this time, we've only gotten movies from like old 30, 40-year-old men like Thor, Cap, Tony, like
they're all these old. Deep grown man stories, grown man problems. Like, I mean, Peter got some grown man problems, but for the most part, he's just a boy. Yeah. Just a boy in the world with these powers, and like definitely a coming of age vibe to the MCU that we haven't had in the past like 12 movies up to this point.
Yeah, and we could definitely tell that he's like 15. Like when this movie came out, Tom was 21.
Yeah, when the movie was filmed, he was 19.
Yeah.
So like when I read that, I was like, wow, he was still a teenager.
He was young.
Like, he was the like youngest the whole cast. Person to.
Yeah, Zendaya was. Like, wow. She's like a year older than him. So yeah, and then like comparing that to when Toby and Andrew did it, they were both reaching their 30s. Like they were old.
Yeah, and so even though they were playing like teenage characters, bringing that, you know, coming of age vibe to Marvel, but not necessarily the MCU, you can still kind of like, I don't know, you can see more youth in Tom Holland than with them when they did theirs.
For sure. And then like the small little aspects, like starting his portion of the film with like the Peter film, or I don't remember what he called it, but his little self-film
by Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I like that too. Kind of getting you caught up on what was going on. Yeah. Whether you haven't seen any of the previous movies and this is your first one, you kind of like see where it's being placed. And if you have seen the other movies, just kind of like
backstory.
Getting you backstory, getting you some cool context that you didn't get before.
Yeah, because if you see Civil War, you're like, who's that guy? Who's that guy in the red tights? And then you get the next movie.
Everybody should know Spider-Man.
What if you didn't?
I don't know. Get out the rock.
I also think Aunt May brings youth to this film as well because
absolutely
she's the youngest Aunt May. I didn't look up how old she was, but like just visually you can see that she's the youngest.
The way that she dressed, the way she talks, the way she acts,
the way people gawk around her.
Dude, I was wanting to bring that up because like Iron Man says something in the beginning,
which is weird because him and Pepper are like locked down at this point too.
Like, what's going on? And then like at the restaurant where she just got sticky rice for free, and it's just like, why did they feel that was important to put that in there?
Yeah, it's like, I think he larbs you.
Like
that scene was funny. She was like, I larb you, and then she bit her lip.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is also like, you know,
youth, young, like she's giving like 30-year-old kid, but she also like teen mom type. Like if we know the story, she probably got Peter when he was like 7 or 8, so she was probably in her 20s. So it gives like that like.
See, that is what I'm confused about, because if she got Peter when he was that young, then like what was he talking about when he was talking to Ned, saying like, oh my goodness, everything that she's gone through,
maybe
like just recently everything that she's gone through. So I'm like, how soon, like how recently did she get Peter? Like, did she have a Ben? And like,
yeah,
that's what I guess that would make sense, that would be the most recent things to have shaken things up.
yeah. Say if you compare to other movies, that's like the timeline. They get Peter young, both of them, and then later on, like right after the powers, that's when Ben dies.
Right. Yeah.
And everything. But also, yeah, you're jumping ahead of my notes.
You were talking about anime.
But also quickly, like I question, like, is there a Ben at all, or is it just always May? Because like even when she's with Happy in the next movies, I feel like there's no brought up like you haven't been with someone since blah 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 died. Like that's an easy, quick like solution to everyone's questions, and I don't think they ever did that.
And that's why I feel like perhaps like Peter's parents, like her siblings / sibling-in-law, maybe they died a little bit sooner than we're thinking, and then like that's when she got him.
But I feel like there'd be more trauma there, no?
That's what I was saying. Like he doesn't seem to be grief-stricken about anything, so it's very confused as
plot holes.
Who died? What's everybody going through? What's happening right now? But yeah.
Okay. So now I want to jump into Peter's relationship with Tony and Happy. This is, I got to this point at the scene when like they're in the car driving back from were they Germany or whatever the heck, Russia or someplace over there. But like as I was watching this scene, I was like, hey, Happy's acting like a little funny. Like, does he not like Peter? Like, what's going on? Yada yada yada. And I feel like it's because like Happy gives off the vibe in the scene like he has more important things to do. Like his job title is not babysitter. Like he came up, he's not a security guard anymore. He's like, I don't know what he does.
That's
personal assistant, something.
No, I don't know what he does either. But yeah, I definitely agree that he's just like, this is not in my job description. I didn't sign up to deal with a teenage kid. And yeah, I think that's the main thing kind of like going through his head. Like they're moving, so there's just a lot that is on his mind, and Peter is not one of the things that he needs to have bugging him.
Yeah. And like we get this perception that Happy doesn't like really care about him like too much, or not care, but like
not concerned.
Yes, concerned with him too much. And like Tony gives off the same vibe because we get this sequence of like, okay, Peter like is really excited to like be an Avenger, and he wants to like prove himself, and he's, you know, leaving school right away and like helping out the neighborhood and like leaving messages because no one's answering, yada yada yada. And I get the sense like, okay, Peter's putting all this effort, but like they don't really care that much. Like they're not giving him any affirmations or like reinforcement, like, okay, you're doing great, like
encouragement,
like I'm actually listening to your messages, like I'm reading your texts and all that stuff. But then as we get further into the movie, like when he gets dropped into the ocean, it's like, okay, wait, no, you are paying attention to Peter. Like you put a tracker in his suit. We see like the first like Tony learns from his lessons and like make sure Peter doesn't do it with the parachute, like when he got too high up in the air. I feel like Marvel is trying to, the reason there isn't a Ben is because Marvel's trying to replace Ben with Tony as like the father figure. We get to see like Tony and Peter's relationship, and like Tony trying to be this father figure, but like the only example he has is his own father. And it's not good. It's not a good father figure. Like he's not doing enough for Peter. And I feel like from Peter's aspect, like this is this billionaire, like he's taking a chance on me, like I have to do everything right. Like I feel like he doesn't see Tony's wrongdoing in it, and like Tony doesn't see the wrongdoing in it, and it's like, okay.
And with it as well, Tony isn't his father. He isn't responsible for like his kind of like well, he's just not his father. So he doesn't necessarily need to be a father figure, but he does need to be a responsible figure in this person's life if he's going to give him this much responsibility. And so I definitely understand what you're saying, and he should have given him more guidance, just like a better expectation of what is supposed to be going on in his relationship with this whole situation. Tony is very much so like take a shot and just like shooting with his eyes closed, sort of, kind of. It's like, I know the vibes, but like I'm not really aware of the consequences of my actions. Like he gave this kid this like ego, he gave him this like complex, this hero complex, and it's like then you disappear. That's a lot going on in like that young person's brain. And yeah, he's not thinking about that, and he is trying to be better than his father, like with being a responsible person in like an adult in this person's life, but like yeah, not that much, like
not good enough.
Yeah, not as much as he could have.
And especially with like knowing that he is listening and paying attention. Like Tony knows that he's listening to every single message and like he's seeing all this text, but like Peter doesn't. Like there's no translation in like, okay, let me tell him that I'm paying attention. Let me let him know that I believe him with the whole vulture situation
like,
and everything.
Don't you think like just telling him sit down, don't worry about it, like
I got it.
It's literally he's not seeing the consequences to his actions. Like he's not understanding his effect that he has on this situation and like how his actions are going to impact Peter and impact the storyline.
Add to the list of things that don't like about Tony. Voice crack. Small little thing, we get to the bodega scene, and I feel like the scene just gave me very much like New York City vibes. Like this is rooted, like this is what? Like this is just like a classic like New York scene. Like he's in the bodega, like he's ordering a sandwich. He's a usual, etc., etc.
He knows the cat. Like the cat's just there on the counter. Like that's normal. Like, you know.
I feel like it just gives to like the background of Peter and his story, like where he's from and like his roots and everything,
and just like seeing him care about the community and wanting to be a part of that, and like he is a part of that.
That friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
In and out the suit.
And then we see angry neighbor Gary, Stan. Stan's little entrance.
What were they angry about?
He was trying to stop someone from robbing a car, and he was like, "This is
my car!
Why are you messing with other people's cars?"
So how's your mother? That was
okay. We touched on this a little bit, but I wrote down like without the Ben trauma, we don't know if he has it or not. Like, what is Peter's motivation? Like, why is he Spider-Man? Like, why does he want to help people? Like, before Civil War and everything like that, like, why is he trying to be the neighborhood Spider-Man? And then after Civil War, it's like, okay, he wants to prove something. Like, he wants to be a part of the Avengers. He like skips steps. Like, he's trying to be this hero like everybody else.
Maybe he was always trying to prove something because they found out about him because of him recording himself and posting it. So it's like the other Spider-Mans didn't do that. They were taking pictures of themselves and selling it in the newspaper for money, and we knew the reasons why behind they were doing that, and like we got motives as to why they were being Spider-Man. But for Peter, he was always trying to prove, or just like not necessarily trying to prove like, oh, I can do this, but just like I'm helping the community just because I'm a good person and I'm proving it.
I'll say like
just sharing it, getting it out there.
Like why? Like who is he trying to prove it to?
himself and May. The universe, there's good out here, guys. The bad guys, don't mess around because Spider-Man will come and get you.
True. And then I feel like after like Civil War and stuff like that, I feel like he was trying to prove it to Tony too. Like after the boat scene, I wrote it down later in the notes, but he says something along the lines like, I'm trying to like be like you, like I'm trying to, be this another like Tony Stark, which is also an arc that goes on to like his entire sequence of movies, like trying to be this next Tony Stark. Not all it's cracked up to be.
He sees that.
Just like 2 small details I saw to like make sure we know like this is in the MCU. Like Spider-Man is now a part of the MCU. Like he's part of the Avengers, etc. Captain America's videos that he made.
Those are hilarious.
Yeah.
When did he have time to do this? Was he running low on rent money? Like,
yes.
Why did he need to do this?
This is after he woke up from the ice.
I know. So I'm just like, what is going on, Kath?
He's bored. He was in the ice for 100 years.
Right, his stocks is dried up.
Yeah, he tried to go back to the bank. They're like, bro, we thought you were dead. We gave away your money.
Like, we gave away your money to ourselves. We absorbed it. I'm sorry.
I feel like though this is a very interesting like part for Captain America's story. Like him going back to the government, like going back to like what he's used to in a sense, instead of like going back to Nick Fury, because like Nick would not have him doing all that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's part of his story that we miss.
Yeah, but I also feel like with Nick Fury, like that is, secret hush hush organization, and like I don't know, that's just not his vibe. Like he wants to serve the American people. I feel like it does kind of make sense that he goes back to the military. But just no, that doesn't matter. Anyway, continue.
Okay. And then when they were in history class, they started talking about the Sokovia Awards. Yeah.
Sokovia Awards.
Accords!
Oh, I thought you said awards.
But didn't that just happen in Civil War, or was that earlier?
No, that was in Civil War.
So, like, how is that in history already?
Maybe it wasn't in history, but it's something relevant to talk about. Like
maybe like government or something.
Yeah, like perhaps it was in history class, but like still something important to talk about. Like our history teacher would talk about relevant things at the time and like how that turned. It's okay that you don't remember.
It's okay. All right. Moving on to this movie's love interest, Liz. She's I literally wrote down she's chill or whatever.
Yeah,
like she's cool. She's kind of there.
Yeah,
like I feel like her purpose is being Vulture's daughter.
Yes,
like nothing more, nothing less. Yeah,
like just how in what's baby boy's name, Andrew. Gwen and the police got some beef with Peter, and so now Vulture got some beef with Peter, and the love interest is involved in that.
Yeah, I feel like though with Gwen though it's more because she was always there. Like Peter, I'm gonna come with you, and like
not comparing their relationship, but comparing how like, the love interest is involved with like the ops.
Yes. One weird thing I thought though, like she's a senior,
right?
Peter's a sophomore.
Like
she's always around sophomores.
Child predator.
Like, don't you have your own friend? Maybe that little group in the gym. Like maybe they're all seniors too.
Perhaps, but not that one girl. That one girl is that.
Yes, she's a soph because she was on the field trip. So like, what are you doing?
Like, weird. Is she that popular? Like, where are all the other seniors at?
Yeah,
I'm confused. What do you mean? I just never got around to
eating. Yeah, she clearly likes Peter, but like the way she goes about it is so like her character is weird. I don't know if it's like the acting, like the actors and what she brought to the character, or like if it's just the character itself.
I don't know. Maybe she just was weird because we weren't supposed to get attached to her.
Probably. Gone and left in one movie. Yeah. I don't dislike her. I just don't. She's there. Yeah. Okay, jumping from Liz, jump to MJ. I feel like this movie, she was also just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like she
like, I think that was on purpose though. Like she was always just there. Like,
yeah.
Hey, but like with some kind of mysterious undertones. Like, I'm just here in detention because I'm drawing people in distress. I'm just here at this party and I'm eating an apple. Yeah. I'm just here at the diathlon. What is it called?
The Decathlon?
Decathlon. And I said 0 and we won. Like,
yeah.
I'm just here and I'm the coolest person around. You want to know everything about me, don't you?
I feel like, yeah, the way they were starting to build up her character was good. And then, like once we watched the next movie, I feel like the way they went into, like, the Peter MJ crush was horrible. Like, it just, like, okay, now I like MJ.
No,
like,
literally, he's like, I just kind of
like first
like,
scene, too. Like,
he likes smart women in power. Okay?
He likes smart black women in power.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't say that.
No, you should. Because the fact that Liz was black, Liz could have been a white girl. But she wasn't.
Okay, but if that's just about the times, though.
No.
Right, sure.
Because they had other white girls up in there. No. Anyways. But I also feel like we can see MJ kind of might have a crush on Peter in this film as well.
Yeah, because at the end when he goes to take his call and Happy's in the bathroom and like she's like, oh, where are you going? Why are you keeping secrets? He's like, no, I don't really care. And then when he walked out, like you can see her double back like, I do kind of care.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. And we also know that she uses her brain in the next movie and figures out that he's Spider-Man, which is crazy that no one else figured that out because like why is Spider-Man in DC?
Like all of a sudden like what? And Peter's nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Liz is just the brightest.
Or how about the actual instructors, the teachers?
Yeah.
The adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. While I was watching the movie, we talked about how I should have put this earlier, but we talked about how like everyone gawks over Aunt May, like she's this hot commodity, yada yada. The only person that like only male figure that doesn't do it is Ned, and I feel like that adds to like Ned and Peter's friendship.
Wait, gawk over Aunt May?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, did I miss something?
No. Continue.
I feel like it adds to Ned and Peter's friendship, like maybe when they were younger, like he was the only person that like didn't like, oh my gosh, your aunt is so hot. Like he cared about he cared about Peter and like
people are just being Peter's friend to get close to his hot aunt.
That happens. Like, you know, like Flash would be a person like Peter, like you're annoying, yada yada, but your aunt, she's hot.
Like, I think Flash has a crush on Peter.
I think Flash is just a bully.
No, I think it's more than that.
Why? Because he slapped his butt in the one scene.
And he keeps calling him Penis Parker. Like,
because that's like a childish,
I don't
bully
know.
Type.
Like, Peter wasn't even there at the party, and he's calling out his name. Like, it's giving obsessed. It's giving, I have posters of you up in my wall. Oh. And I love you so much.
I feel like it's giving, like, obsessed, but, like, jealousy type. Like a different path.
I definitely think that he is jealous of him, jealous of how smart he is. Wants to be smarter than him. And yeah, definitely think he has a crush on him. For sure. But one of the things...
Peter and Flash forever.
No. Don't want to see it. Flash does not...
The title of the podcast? Peter and Flash forever, question mark?
No. Question mark, ... no. Exclamation point. But one of the things that I want to talk... Do we talk about Ned and Peter's relationship?
No, but we can now.
Okay, cool. Because I feel like, I don't know, man. Ned.
You don't like Ned?
I don't really like Ned that much.
Why?
But I feel like once he found out that Peter was a Spider-Man, he was like trying to leech off of his coolness. Like he freaking, first of all, he was the thirsty tweaker in the gym. He's like yelled out, listening to their conversation. Peter knows Spider-Man. Like, come on, bro. He was trying to keep it on, telling you to keep it on the hush hush. You're fiending to tell everybody because you want to boost your cool points. You wanted Spider-Man to come out at the party because, oh, you want to be cool. Oh, I guess we're going to be losers a little bit longer. Like, so sad and upset about it. And, like, he does eventually turn around and, like, be a good friend to Peter. But, like, yeah, definitely when he first found out, he's only, like, thinking about how cool he can be and just, like, bro, at the party, Peter was like, oh, like, I just want to be myself. Ned was like, nobody wants that. Like, come on, bro. That was crazy.
I feel like, yeah, you definitely have a point because up until this point, like, they're like nobodies. Like, growing up and, like, not feeling popular and, like, not feeling seen and, like, hey, I only have one friend. And this one friend has something cool that can make us have more friends. Like, I feel like it's I don't know the word for it, but like it's definitely like a character thing that he has to like go through for sure. I didn't know you had this much disdain for Ned.
Yeah,
damn,
it was so annoying. Like, oh my goodness, we should tell everybody. Like,
yeah,
oh my goodness, like this and the third.
Yeah, I feel like it's
no.
I feel like it's definitely common though for like somewhat like. I feel like it's the classic story of like the loner kid who becomes popular or like it's craving popularity. Like it's what happens.
Sounds like a character flaw.
I mean, yeah, they're 15.
Do better.
They got a lot of growing to do,
I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see how his friendship is in the next movies. We got more to analyze.
You're not gonna like him in the next movie.
Yeah,
either.
So I don't think that. I think that there's more of a chance that Ned's gonna be a villain.
Don't say that. You'll like him in the third movie. I feel like he was pretty chill in the third movie.
Yeah, until he Never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but then I was gonna be spoiling the movie. So I decided to keep it to myself.
I will say though, we could maybe we can do it in the next Spider-Man one, but like compare like MJ's reaction to like finding out he was Spider. Well, she already knew. But, like find out he was Spider-Man. Like she didn't really change that much. Like how you're saying, like Ned was like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta tell everyone, yada yada." Like she was.
I want to be a part of your world. I want to be your guy in the chair.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to do that. Or like, also at the DC situation, like I don't know. I guess partly they're 15.
Yeah.
And, gotta.
They're young.
Green and
they have
whatever.
to mature. Yes.
But like they're going through the X-ray and stuff, and like Peter's trying to tell him important information, and all he's like, oh, "Why didn't you come back?" Like, bro, I am on a life or death mission right now, and I told you about it, and you are not listening. Can you please lock in for a second? And then literally put them in danger. He was the reason why the monument got cracked.
One, that's crazy. Two, speaking of that scene, why was Liz last? Like, why did the teacher get out of the elevator before Liz did?
That is a very good point. Like after she was already pushed out the way by Flash.
Bro, what?
Like, why didn't they get all the...
Keep going.
Why didn't they get all the girls out first?
Or all the kids
out. Just that simple fact too. Get the kids out. Like, even the host person that was supposed to be in there with them out.
I ain't dying because of this job. That's what she was feeling like.
Listen, okay, they had to have that set up so that Peter could have his moment with Liz.
Like, this is your time. Kiss her,
Peter. What? Karen? No.
Karen is too advanced.
Karen, keep it up. Just button it up.
All right. Could Spider-Man work in the burbs? Like the scene when what scene was this? Oh, when he was Is it still DC? I don't remember. He was in the Burbs. Is this the party?
I think maybe
this is the party. This is
right
the
where
party.
he was running through and yeah. So see, I feel like those people were so scared because he was invading their privacy at nighttime. Like, you know, these kids are camping, screaming. Why does this man in a spider suit just fall from the sky? And secondly, like,
the plane. It's Spider-Man.
And like, I feel that the Burbs may be to like back the blue, you know. They be like, oh yeah, the police don't like you, we don't like you, get out of here, let the police do their job. Spider-Man.
I was just thinking like there's nothing to swing from.
Right. I thought you know if the people would accept it.
I wasn't trying to analyze the neighborhood or nothing. I was just like, there was just emphasis on him like, this ain't gonna work. Like when he
yeah, probably not. Yeah, no, probably not. The tree's probably not tall enough for him to like, you know.
Yeah, can't spider it up out
he can't there. Spider it up out in the burbs. No, I don't think Spider-Man will work in the suburbs because there's nothing to swing from. Yeah.
Keep all of that in. Anyways, what? I was confused. What other attacks happened in those 8 years to like keep supplying them with stuff? Or like are they just stealing old things? Because there's the emphasis on alien weapons. And like the only alien attack I remember is New York between those 8 years.
Well,
because Ultron's not an alien attack.
Thor 2.
What happened in Thor 2?
There was some kind of fight with the Dark Elves, but I don't remember if that fight was on Earth or not.
I feel like the only time Loki and stuff was on Earth was New York.
Well, he was definitely involved in Thor 2. Loki was in Thor 2.
Well, I mean like on Earth.
Well, they got Jane. Jane was involved.
And they went
the Redstone, the reality thing was on Earth. And so like Earth was involved, space was involved. So I'm just saying I'm not for sure, but this is a possibility where like aliens was definitely on Earth because Thor was here. So there's that. But I'm not for sure. I definitely think that part of it though is that yeah, they're stealing things like when they're trying to be transported or possibly like that's
so then like why are they just finding old things from like 8 years ago?
Maybe.
Because why would they be transporting it so much?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because it seems like they're robbing the trucks when they're on their way to the storage facility. Yeah.
Which also, what kind of security? Like, you don't hear clicking, clacking going on back there? Like, this man is in a hawk suit. You don't see that in your rear mirror?
And I do want to say, though, that, like, his suit did kind of blend in with the night very well. So if you're driving at nighttime, you know, you're focusing on probably, like, a car trying to come up and jack you, not, like, someone coming from the air.
I guess.
You know, closed-minded thinking, considering that you're transporting alien bits. But, hey,
I will say,
they don't get paid enough for that.
Yeah, going back to, like, being dropped in the ocean, if a hawk would have grabbed me from the sky and I looked up and he had green eyes, I would have been terrified for my life, bro. What? That scene scared me. I was like, how are you not screaming right now?
He thought that he was about to do something. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna get these people. Yink.
Snatched right up.
Right up.
Just like a prey.
Jump scare.
But yeah, I feel like it has to be old things because like it was always the purple stuff. Like, it was always the same alien material. Until at the end when they did the big heist and like the Ultron head just like
no, literally
rolled over there.
He's like But that one makes more sense considering that it was coming from Tony's tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like a funny little
definitely
note they put up in there. We see you,
Weasel.
Okay. Why does Peter still make his own web fluid? Like I can assume why, but I feel like Tony could have been like, no, like I got you. Like he's still in science class. Like,
okay, this is my theory. He gave him web fluids, right? For the suit, and he's been using it way more than he should have, because like he out there doing way more than Tony intended him to be doing. So like he gotta keep it on the low. Like, I need more web because I'm out here messing around, man.
I like that. That's smart. Look at you.
Thanks.
All right. Do you have anything to add before I jump into the boat scene?
I do want to mention the interrogation that he had with Aaron.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You gotta get better at this part of the job.
No, literally, like, why did he get scared when he closed the trunk? He literally spiderwebbed him. Like, he spiderwebbed him down. Why did he get so scared?
It's so funny, though, seeing Peter, like, snap in and out of, like, I'm serious and I'm not serious. Like, jumping ahead when he is with, what is his real name? When he's with Vulture, like, when he walks, like, you can tell he's not terrified, but he's like, oh, snap. But then, like, once Liz leaves the car and it's like, it's just the two of them, you can see his face, like, snap into
this is serious
hero mode. Yeah.
He was getting the Peter tingle.
Anyways, we'll talk about that too. Keep going.
And I just want everyone to note and remember the license plate of this car is UCSM01. And we're going to come back to that when we talk about Miles.
Okay. Because, yeah, you're going to come back to it because I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's okay. But that's what the license plate on the car is. Keep in mind Donald Glover. Like, Donald Glover is going to be important when we talk about Miles' next episode. Not only who he plays as Aaron Davis, but who he is as, like, Donald Glover himself.
Really? I'm glad you're hosting that podcast because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, definitely excited to talk about that next episode, but just wanted to mention that in there. But now, after talking with him, we got the location. Let's
hop on this boat.
This scene literally was the reason why I was so scared when I was in New York. I'm like, oh my goodness. What if the boat splits in half?
Like, they're doing a heist right now. Like, I can't.
We need to sit by the lifesaver. Like, if we're gonna jump in the ocean, we gotta be ready. Anyway, so tell us about what you got going on for the boat scene.
Back to, like, I feel like it's like Tony's lack of communication, really,
because
like,
bruh,
you called the FBI. I understand he told Peter to, like, leave it alone, whatever, and he called the FBI, yada yada. My one thing is, what did Tony think the FBI was going to do?
Like, literally, bro, they're making alien energy fueled weapons, and the FBI with their guns are gonna stop them.
Like, you have experience with this. Like, you have a suit that doesn't take bullets either. Like, what? Like, I called the FBI. Like, they were gonna handle it. Yada,
whole time, those FBI agents were going to die. Like, I feel like, yeah, you know, the boat got split in half because Peter decided to pew 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 the little gun. Like, that wasn't the smartest, but, you know, hey, he's 15.
Yeah.
The FBI agents, though, if Peter wasn't involved, I don't know. I feel like they would have just got. Yeah, like, I hope they can swim. They had a chance to survive.
One thing this reminded me of, and what you were talking about earlier, this is like the first movie where the government's not involved, or like the military,
like the police, like nobody.
Like, every movie we've watched so far, like Spider-Man's, all the sequences, even the X-Men, and stuff like that.
They're not involved with Peter, but they are in the background. Like, it says, like, oh, Tony partnered up with the government for this, that, and the third to help, like, clean up efforts. Yeah. So I feel like it's more so that. Like that. Because that lady with her little bob, she pop up, like, 2 times. She tell him, hey, move on, get out of here. And then when the bodega got burned down, she was there like at the wreckage site. Like, oh my goodness,
she was.
Her and her team of hard hat dudes in their suits or whatever. Why they had hard hats on and she didn't? She don't care about her health.
No,
she just like that.
The lapse of thinking. Like Virginia running to that building with no gun, no weapon, going in first. Oh my god,
we not talking about Virginia this episode.
So annoying.
Man, they was paying everybody. They was paying her. They was paying RDJ. They was paying Chris Evans. Everyone got paid this movie. Maybe not everybody in the whole Avengers, but just for like actors, like they was pulling out all the cards,
all the stops.
I'm just like, dang, for her 3 minutes in there, they probably gave her
bank. Damn,
good on you. I can say something.
I could be an annoying lead. Like, come on.
Annoyingly written.
Badly written lead.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
Boat scene, government is not
back
involved.
to boat scene. What the heck did Tony think he was doing? This scene is also used a lot to compare the different Spider-Man strength. Like they use is it a train?
Oh yeah,
the train scene for Toby. Yeah. I don't know what they use for Andrew. I feel like he doesn't really use like brute strength.
I do agree with that, and I think that another reason is that like they weren't emphasizing that he was super duper strong. Like remember how they weren't showing like
because he was skinny.
Exactly, that's something that you pointed out in that episode. And for both of these movies, they kind of like showed off Peter's body. Like, I got abs.
Tom
like,
looked great. I'm just saying.
Damn, you are silly, bro. But yeah, I agree. Continue.
So I guess it would just be like Tom and Toby. Like, who is stronger? Who do you think is stronger?
That's a question, right? I would probably have to say Toby, only because like he's in his movies we see him like become older and like he's becoming an older man. He's building more muscle mass, kind of like, you know, by default, just kind of in that way. But in terms of like super strength, just trying to like see if we're comparing that train scene versus the boat scene, I feel like Peter would be significantly stronger. He was literally holding up two sides of a boat that had people on it and cars versus like but the train has moving. Like kinetic energy. Like you answer a question. I don't know.
That wasn't the question. I was asking you. Personally, I would say the safe route and be like, they're both Spider-Man. They have the same amount of strength.
Right. Yeah, that's also what I was thinking. But I'm like, she's making me choose. So like, goodness, like I have to break it down. Oh my god.
But like, that's how people break it down. Like they're like, but the train's moving. But like, this is dang near a cruise ship. Like this is a ferry.
And the ferry was moving too.
It's slower.
No, that ferry is moving, girl.
She be zooming?
That ferry be moving. I be like, I was looking, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, even looking back at the videos that I have of me recording the water, I was like, damn. We're shooting through that water. We get to Staten Island in 30 minutes.
Does it feel like it? Or does it feel, you know how like planes are really fast? Does it feel like you're like on a plane?
Yeah, that kind of vibe. It doesn't, it doesn't feel like, oh my goodness. It just feels like, I'm
which
on
is
this
such
thing
a
and I'm
weird
moving.
concept.
It is.
We're going so how fast in the air? And I feel like I'm sitting
or how still? About we're spinning so fast literally right now on the planet?
I'm dizzy.
Anyway.
Our cheat code answered that they have the same amount of strength.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Tell us what you think.
Put it down in the comments down below.
Please.
Okay. And then we get, Tony arrives. He zoom, zap. of the suit. Yep. Another showing like, okay, Tony does pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
He does care.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say that he cares.
Mm-hmm. He just yells at you and takes your suit.
Yeah. And it's like
our outfits. Suit got taken.
Yeah, this is our scene.
Uh-huh.
He's like, what is his name? Peter's like, I just wanted to be like you. And Tony's like, no, I wanted you to be better. Like, if you're nothing without that suit, you shouldn't have the suit.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that scene where he was fighting Vulture the first time in the building. Not even fighting him, but like fighting his suit thing and like
bro, he had to stop. We'll get there. Stop. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I feel like those are like two iconic lines in this movie. Like, I want you to be better highlights Tony and Peter's relationship, and like if you're nothing but so you shouldn't have it is like it's part of Peter's evolution to like the person character that he becomes. And
that's what I think that Peter's big loss is this movie, like losing that hero complex, like being taken down a peg and just like having to really sit down and evaluate himself and just like growing and maturing as a person.
It's a little spoiler, it's so crazy, like the emphasis they put on Peter, like he has people around him. Like he tells Ned right away, like Aunt May finds out at the end of the movie, like he has a community around him, and then they just yank that out.
Dang.
Everyone. Anyways. Get my composure back here.
Because we can't even dive like without spoiling so much. Anyway.
But yeah, I feel like the whole thing is like just Tony doesn't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like you wanted him to be better, but like you're not giving him the tools to be better. If you gave a 15-year-old a multi-million-dollar suit and was like, here you go.
How about like, or the fact that he's so smart, like he was able to find your tracker. He was able to unlock the code and like,
well, Ned unlocked.
Right, but he has the community, the network to be able to do something like that. And it's just like,
you get yelled at for it.
Like, literally, you're look in the mirror, Tony. Like, you're being your father right now. Like
he says it too, though. I sound like my father.
And it's like you isolated him away from you.
Yeah,
and like, so
I feel like does Tony know, like he's at this point in their relationship, does he know he's like a father figure? Or like what does Tony think about this relationship?
I feel like it more so gets to that point when he is evaluating everything at the end and like
all those years later.
No, not at the end. At the end of the movie.
Okay, I was like, damn, that took a long time.
Like, you couldn't realize that sooner? No, at the end of the movie. Yeah. I definitely think that he sees it as some kind of, like, a little bit of a mentor kind of situation, just because, like, he appointed someone of his own personal staff who's very close to him to, like, look after him. Kind of like, oh, be there for me when I'm not. But it's like, Happy's like, I didn't sign up to be a father either. So
I got other things to do.
I gotta pat this building up. Right. You see this building?
Yeah.
And yeah, but
also they moved to that building quick. No,
they did.
I thought they like waited a while.
No, it was 8 years later. Remember? So no, Avengers Attack on New York.
I know. I feel like my brain thought they only got into that building like right before Infinity War, like right before they needed it.
That's silly.
Anyways,
no, but I definitely agree with you. I did think that they moved into it a little bit further down the line, but I think that we also have to remember how far in the line we are already. Like, this is 12 movies in already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is probably pretty far up in there.
Were you saying anything else? I like cut you off. Okay, cool. This is this is the point of the movie where I got bored. I just wanted to note this. I don't know why, but yeah. After the boat scene, I was like, we're still going. Like, yeah, I still got like 40 minutes left of this movie. Gosh,
this was one of the movies where I'm just like, man, I'm not super excited to watch this, but
yeah.
like I love this Spider-Man. Like
yes,
Spider-Man. Yeah.
I was like, wait, I thought I liked this movie because I was quoting stuff in the movie, and I don't usually do that. I was like, okay, I definitely watched this multiple times, but like, yeah, watching, I was like, damn, like,
why did I watch it multiple times?
Yeah, like, come on, what?
That's funny.
Anyways, okay, now we're meeting Liz's dad. Finally, Peter asked her to homecoming. She didn't have another date because, you know, one thing I noticed at this scene, like when I don't know exactly when, I want to say when he opened the door, the music cut off. Like there's no background noise, like it's just silent. Which I feel like is a really good like editing little note they put into there.
I also want to say though that this, like him finding out who he was, could have been avoided if he would have played it cool. Like he has no poker face.
Liz is also a low-key snitch.
Liz is also low-key a snitch. And I feel like because I wrote that down, I was like, dang, Liz and her daddy is chewing him up in the car right now.
She just kept going.
I'm like, Liz, shut up, Liz. But no, bro, I think that like yeah, you know, mentioned that like he could have thought it was a coincidence, but like wasn't smart enough to put it together. But with Peter acting funny like that,
from the jump too,
from the jump, sweating, scared, nervous. Something that happened in the house where he was just like all the weird looks and energy. Like he couldn't focus on Liz. Like he was
the corsage.
Dang. Okay. Jeez.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah. And then in the car, just I feel like his questions could have been a little bit better. Not questions, but his answers and his energy to help keep his cover up.
Yeah, but you can definitely tell when he locked in and like putting his phone in the car and like all the extra steps. Like he eventually got there.
He did.
Yeah. This is also when I realized like there's no Peter Tingle in this movie, like at all. There's no emphasis on like I can sense something, especially like with when they're in wherever they are, when it's just him and the vulture and like his wings are flying everywhere. Like if it was the next movie, Peter would have sensed it and he would have like jumped beforehand. But like there's no Tingle in here, so I wonder, is it to show maybe an evolution in his powers, or is it just a lapse of like thought to put it in the movie? Like why is it not? Because in both of the other movies, it's there right away.
Because Andrew, he's like the spider on the skateboard in his room, and Peter with like the tray and all of that jazz. So I think that it has to be on purpose. Like if it was in the first ones, I don't know, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I feel like it would have to be on purpose, because just to show his growth and show how much he is growing. Because what were the boys in the other one? They were juniors, right? Guess we'll never know.
Guess the world will never know. Toby was a senior. Because we only watched the first one, right? Of Toby's.
Oh, right.
Tony.
Tony.
What is his name? Tony. Toby was a senior.
Okay.
Andrew was a junior.
So yeah, maybe it's something that comes when you're a little bit
maturity.
Older. Yeah.
They went down. Senior, junior, sophomore.
They did go down.
Okay. Yeah. Small little everything's a small little.
Everything, just a small little, just a little note.
Small little detail that I noticed. You know, Peter at this point is back in his old suit, and I feel like his voice is more muffled in this suit, which is like because it's DIY. It's probably like a ski mask or whatever the heck. Yeah. Okay, now we can jump into Peter being trapped scene. Getting a little, I got a little emotional. Like, Peter, no, stop, like, stop, this was the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
The acting.
Tom's acting.
He really came
10 out of 10. Like, sometimes when people like try to do like just like, it's hard to be distressed when you're not, and like to be able to pull that off.
Like, he was making me feel something.
Yes,
like,
bro.
Oh my goodness. Period, Tom.
Period. And then we get like the voiceover of like, if the suit, if you're nothing but the suit, then you shouldn't have it. Yeah. And we see like,
okay, let me lock in.
Yes. We see like the evolution of Peter and his characterization, like in this.
Or this is just another going to show how strong he is. Pure will, just.
I'm also that, yeah.
Crazy.
So it's Tom. But yeah, I love this scene. Like, this scene got me back because I was kind of not paying attention before.
Man, I'm like, oh, look at him! He's crying! Oh my god! But no. Also, why didn't he like spiderweb both his hands down?
I don't know.
It had to just be for the plot, like, oh, because if he did, then the movie would be over.
Roll credits.
Exactly, FBI, whoop whoop.
That's it. Okay. There's also with Peter's character. I feel like it's just his Spider-Man. There's a big emphasis on not killing people. Like no kill mode. Like, I don't kill people. And then him trying to save Vulture at the end. Like, your suit's gonna blow up. Yada yada. Like, making sure. And also after the boat, like, the first words out of his mouth was, "Is everyone okay?" Like, there's a big emphasis on him, like, making sure that he's doing the right thing, but being able to do the right thing without hurting anyone.
Okay, so we were talking about how he seems to not be affected by death at all. So maybe this is how he's being affected by death, where it's like, I want to make sure I go through this life doing as little harm to that extent as possible. And yeah, that is a really beautiful thing here. Oh wait, I was talking about him being, I want to say that he's young, you know, he's only 15.
Your trophy fell.
He's only 15, so he's just like, yeah, a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, that would be scary at 15, like having a death on your conscience.
Yeah, like that's messed up. Okay, but when we get to the Avengers movies, what do you want to say?
I think we should definitely come back to this point because, you know, with Mjolnir, like, I don't remember when it happens, but he hangs on to the hammer and he like flies, like he's not worthy. And I feel like when we get to Avengers, we will talk about like what makes someone worthy. Like, do you have to kill people or like make sacrifices to be able to be worthy?
We talked about that in the Thor episode.
Well, we're gonna talk about it again.
Okay.
In Avengers, because I don't remember that.
Right.
You have a better memory than me because you're the editor. Jeez, you have to watch those clips like 15 times. Okay. I only have like 3 more points. Tony like peed me off this movie, especially at the end when he's like I knew you had in you all the time. Like, really it was me. Like, taking that suit away, like, that was all me. I was like, bro, shut up. Like, this credit is not on you. Like, Peter just defeated this guy and like you're making the praise and everything all about you. You literally did nothing, sir. Maybe you said like 2 inspirational sentences, but like, please shut up. Damn. And then they're at the New Avengers, yada yada. He turns down the thing and he's like, what are we gonna say now? He's like, I've been saving this ring in my pocket since 2008.
Like, what? And they both look at him like,
what?
Why and how? And just like, every day you come home, you empty out your pockets. I'm gonna say, put this in there tomorrow. Like, what, Happy? What does that even mean? Why have you been doing this?
Literally.
Like, we're just gonna blow past that. Like, that was nothing.
And then the flick of the ring. Anyways. And then, yeah, we already talked about the first end credit scene. The second one is just like a lighthearted, like, comedic relief end credit scene. And I feel like we need one of those now. like where we are in the phases, because we're not, people are so used to like Endgame and Infinity War, like big juicy, like there's so much impact happening, yada yada yada. They're not used to like filler movies, and I feel like we need Captain America to tell us to sit down and relax and be patient. Like they're getting there. Like give them some time.
One of the things that I want to mention now that we're close to the end, firstly, there was a cute little animation closure of the like some closure in the animation part of the credits, that the Del Mar shop got fixed up and it was reopened.
Oh, I did not watch all that.
That's okay. I was scrolling through it, and Amazon it has the IMBD, whatever that brand is. They have trivia. Whoever they are, they got the trivia for them, and I learned that from the trivia. I was like, oh, that's cute.
It's basically like actors and like movie reels, like they're like the portfolio.
Yeah, I know what the thing is. I just didn't know what order their letters is in. But I know it got an I, M, a B, and a D.
You said that correctly. It's in that order.
Yeah. Okay. So, secondly, at this point, like we're getting into the time period where like car brands are part of movie sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
Like Audi is going ham.
Captain Marvel was in a freaking commercial I saw all the time back then.
No, or just like side note, how about there was a whole Chevy commercial in the Barbie movie? Like that was honestly crazy. Like they took that same clip and then put it on YouTube for like commercial. Like, anyway though, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. They're pulling up like, oh, Audi, he stole Flash car. That was Audi.
Oh,
it slid.
I didn't even notice that.
Fine. Like almost every single car. Like when it comes to movies and like photography, you only show a brand if you want to show it on purpose. Like they're very specific about,
you gotta pay them.
Exactly. And it's either that or Audi is like sponsoring. It's like, hey, get our stuff out there, like let people know you're gonna be cool, you're gonna be a Marvel girl if you get an Audi. Yeah,
maybe like Spider-Man.
Like, oh my gosh.
That's all you have to say?
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
We're back to Show Your Podcast.
Yeah.
What would you rate the movie?
I would honestly give her 3.5 stars.
Damn! I give
it yeah, not even gonna lie. 3 stars for the plot, an extra half star for Tom and Zendaya, because just felt bad giving them just a 3 with the two of them in there. So, plot holes, like it's just kind of, it's just like a mid movie. Like it's here, it's chill.
Yeah,
there's more coming.
I feel like kind of off topic, but not really. Like whenever Zendaya is a huge name, and like whenever she's in a movie, like people do tours and stuff like that. Whenever she's in a movie, they make sure like she's on the poster, like she's doing press, like they know she's going to bring people to the theaters. Like I feel like her role wasn't big enough to be like in the press and stuff like that. Like it should have, like when they were doing tour and stuff, like it should have been Tom, I don't know his name, person that plays Ned, and like RDJ. Like she was there, but her role's not big enough for her to like.
I think that they did that more so like thinking about the future.
But also,
yeah,
I'm just saying this because they did the same thing with the Dune movie. Like this girl was in that movie for like 5 seconds, and like she was all over the posters, she was on the tour and everything, and like you could say the same thing. Like she was a way bigger role, huge role in the second Dune movie. So it could be like a future setup, but I also feel like it's like a cash grab as well.
Okay, so you said that before. This was Zendaya's like first big movie, outside of Disney. So perhaps for this one, it was like she's gonna be really important for this next movie, so like want to get that. And then as she got popular and like even more popular in the movie scene of it all, then that's when they started doing it for cash grabs. But perhaps it could be cash grabs for both.
So maybe it's a little bit of both, because she was still big at that point,
right?
Like,
everybody knows Zendaya.
Yeah, like she blew up on Disney.
Yeah, like not even just that, but her social media personality as well. Mm-hmm. Like she got the vines.
Tomboy thing. I love her. Z, you're watching this, girl. Come on over. I mean, we'll come to you too if you want to be on that podcast. I will fly out there personally. Anyways, do you remember what I rated Andrew Spider-Man?
I feel like it was a 4 because that was your man.
Okay, because I feel like Andrew's was better than this.
Yeah.
Movie. Like if I had to rate them, it would be Andrew's, Tom's, and then Toby's.
Mm-hmm.
One of our friends is gonna hate that.
Oh, bless her heart. We love you so much. We love you.
I don't think it was like out of 6. I don't think it was 3.5 words. Did I write it down?
Let's find out.
Because it was definitely. It was definitely
cool. It was cool.
It was. Okay, The Amazing Spider-Man. I don't think I wrote it down.
No.
No, I didn't. Freak. Okay. It was. Okay, I don't know if it's 3.5 worthy. Maybe let me give it like a. You don't have to do this.
A 3.75.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I want to give it like a 3.85.
3.85. Okay.
Yeah, out of 6 Infinity Stones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what was the last movie that you watched?
The last movie that I watched was called Secret Obsession. It's with Brenda Songs and the Allstate Man. I know, right? Very random. It's on Netflix. But yeah, lady gets into an accident. Her husband ain't really her husband. Let me see that. Mm-hmm. Jump scare.
Yeah. Okay. What movie or show do you recommend?
Doom Squad. I'm watching that right now on Max, and I'm loving it. It's a DC TV show. DC does great with their freaking shows, man.
I just saw a TikTok that was like, DC is trash at movies but great at TV shows, and Marvel is trash at TV shows but great at movies.
Yeah. They did good with WandaVision.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, they were good in the beginning. I don't know what happened.
It was that strike, man.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like even Loki season 2 was like alright.
Like, yeah. What about you?
I'm trying to think of the last thing I finished.
Right.
Because I started a lot of things.
Just tell us what you're watching right now. Tell us the most recent one you just started.
Right now I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls. I just finished Love is Blind, the newest season. I've been watching a lot of TV shows.
That's your answer every time.
And then I'll be on a movie kick, and then I'll just be like, I've just been only watching movies. It comes and goes. Yeah. What do I recommend? Honestly, there's this black guy that I watch on YouTube. I like his videos. His name is Kevin Lang. You should watch his videos. I like his videos. And if Kevin, if you're watching this, we would love to be an episode, that bring black people, community. How could you say no to that? That would be insane. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this podcast.
Oh yeah.
If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. Literally. Please. Like right now. Comment down below. We've watched 3 of the Spider-Man so far. Comment down below your favorite one. What order would you rate the Spider-Mans personally? What order would you rate? Because I did mine.
The
first movies.
Yes, I understand. I would probably do Andrew, Toby, Tom.
She's also not gonna like that answer either. She does not like Andrew Spider-Man. Calling you out.
That's okay. Leave her alone.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Please and thank you.
Yes.
Rate us on Spotify.
Yes. Please listen on Spotify as well. Like, just play it in the background. You washing your dishes, just put it in the background. Like, it's fine.
You scrapbooking, play us in the background.
Yeah, you can do it twice. Come on. All of our social medias will be linked down below. Subscribe, follow us on social media. We have exclusive content on TikTok. Also, Meadow she's not wearing any makeup today, but she has Makeup Mondays with Meadow exclusively on her TikTok, so make sure you go follow that.